Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we're diving deep into the transformative power of not reacting. Learn how to control your emotions through a profound story inspired by Gautam Buddha. This motivational story will teach you the art of mindfulness and emotional mastery, which can help you build stronger relationships and live a more peaceful, fulfilling life. If you find value in this content, don't forget to support us by subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell so you never miss our inspiring videos. Once, a man approached the enlightened Gautam Buddha, seeking guidance on how to calm the storm of emotions that raged within him. Burdened by anger and frustration, he longed for a way to tame his mind. Buddha, with his serene smile, invited him to sit and listen. "Let me share a story with you," Buddha began. There was once a mighty king who ruled a flourishing land. One day he journeyed to a neighboring kingdom, intrigued by the wisdom of its ruler. On his arrival, the king was honored with a grand feast. As he sat down to enjoy the meal, a fly landed in his soup. Filled with disgust, he angrily demanded another bowl. Observing this, the wise king of the neighboring land gently spoke, "Your Majesty, do not let anger cloud your peace. It is but a small fly, insignificant in the grander scheme. Why allow such a trifle to disturb your inner harmony?" The visiting king, still fuming, replied, "I cannot tolerate such annoyances. Even a small fly can spoil my mood." The wise king smiled and said, "It is not the fly that has disturbed you, your reaction to it. Remember, Your Majesty, we hold the power over our emotion. Do not surrender that power." These words struck deep within the king's heart. From that day forward, he began to practice the art of mindful non-reaction. Over time, he discovered a newfound composure, even in the face of challenges. By mastering his emotions, he was able to make clearer decisions and live with greater peace. Buddha then turned to the man before him. "Just as the king learned, so too can we. It is not the external events that unsettle us, but our unchecked reactions. When we learn to pause, observe, and respond mindfully, we reclaim the power over our own peace." Anger and frustration, if left unchecked, can harm our relationships and cloud our ability to make wise decisions. However, it is essential to recognize that not reacting doesn't mean suppressing our emotions. Emotions are an integral part of being human, and they deserve acknowledgement. Rather than reacting impulsively, we must take time to observe our emotions and respond with clarity, thoughtfulness. In a distant part of the world lived a young man named Michael. He was deeply emotional, often found himself reacting rashly to situations that disturbed him. His anger would flare, leading him to say hurtful things, resulting in strained relationships and unnecessary conflict. Realizing that his impulsive reactions were causing more harm than good, Michael made a conscious decision to change. He began to practice mindfulness and meditation, which allowed him to observe his thoughts and emotions without being swept away by them. Whenever he found himself in a situation that would usually trigger his anger, he would pause, take a deep breath, and calmly assess the circumstances. Though it was challenging at first, this practice helped him respond with thoughtfulness rather than impulsivity. Over time, Michael found that his emotional control improved, and his relationships became more harmonious. Though Michael still experienced moments of anger and frustration, he learned to pause and not react impulsively. With continued practice, controlling his emotions became easier. Over time, he noticed significant improvements in his relationships. He no longer engaged in arguments or hurt others with his words. Instead, he communicated calmly and thoughtfully, which strengthened his bonds with those around him. One day, a close friend of Michael came to him for advice, overwhelmed by personal struggles. Michael listened patiently, offering comfort and wise counsel. His friend, grateful for the support, remarked, "You always know the right thing to say. You never seem to get angry or upset." Michael smiled and said, "It's not that I never feel those emotions. I've simply learned to control them, rather than letting them control me. It's a practice that has brought me peace and improved my relationships." Impressed by his wisdom, his friend asked how he had mastered this control. Michael shared his journey of mindfulness and the art of non-reaction, encouraging his friend to try it. Grateful for the advice, his friend began the same practice. As time passed, Michael became known for his calm and composed demeanor. He navigated difficult situations with grace, and people admired his inner strength. His commitment to mindfulness and emotional control brought him a deep sense of peace and fulfillment. The story of Michael, like that of the wise king, reminds us of a profound truth. We hold the power to control our emotions. With practice and patience, we can transform our relationships, make wiser decisions, and lead more fulfilling lives. Emotions are an inevitable part of life, and while we may not be able to control the events that happen to us, we hold the power to control how we respond to them. Through the practice of mindfulness and the art of non-reaction, we can learn to manage our emotions and respond thoughtfully, rather than impulsively. This mindful approach is a powerful tool that can enhance our relationships, well-being, and overall quality of life. By cultivating this skill, we invite transformation and peace into our lives. Anger will persist as long as we hold on to thoughts of resentment. Just as a fire cannot burn without fuel, anger will dissipate once we release the resentments that sustain it. As Buddha taught, he who restrains rising anger like holding back a rolling chariot is a true driver, while others merely hold the reins. Holding on to anger is akin to drinking poison and expecting the other to suffer. The harm only festers within us. In truth, the one who conquers their own mind is far greater than the one who triumphs over 1,000 enemies. Do not allow yourself to be ruled by reactions. Instead, let your actions be guided by wisdom. Peace is found within, not from external sources. In the midst of conflict, when we feel anger, we have already shifted our focus from truth to self-interest. Remember, the mind is everything. What we think, we become. We are not punished for our anger, but rather by it. The root of all suffering is attachment. If we wish to bring happiness to others, we must practice compassion. And if we seek happiness for ourselves, we must do the same. Letting go brings us freedom, and only in that freedom can true happiness be found. As long as we cling to anger, anxiety, or worldly possessions, we remain trapped. Better than 1,000 hollow words is a single word that brings peace. We are shaped by our thoughts, and what we think determines who we become. Therefore, do not dwell on the past, nor dream of the future. Focus the mind on the present moment. For three things cannot stay hidden for long: the sun, the moon, and the truth. The path to true happiness lies in letting go of our attachments to things and people. Our mind is our greatest ally, and it is our own thoughts, not external enemies, that can lead us astray. True greatness comes from within, and as Buddha reminds us, in the end, only three things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. An idea that remains just a thought carries no weight, but an idea brought to life through action has the power to transform. Passion burns like a fire, hatred cuts deep like a shark, folly ensnares us like a trap, and greed surges like an unstoppable torrent. Yet all of these arise from within the mind. Our thoughts shape our reality, and with our thoughts, we create the world. To soar, we must let go of what binds us. Change the world, we must first change ourselves. Happiness isn't something handed to us. It is cultivated through our own actions. The greatest illusion is thinking we have endless time. Just as water becomes clear when it's still, the mind gains clarity and calmness. Words, though sharp as a blade, can heal without causing harm. Do not merely follow in the footsteps of the wise, seek what they sought. Purity and impurity come from within. No one can cleanse another's heart. Each day is an opportunity for gratitude. Even if we haven't learned much today, we've gained something. If we've fallen ill, at least we're still alive. The only true failure is not living true to the best we know. Past is gone, future is uncertain, and the present is all we have. Idleness leads to decay, while diligence is the path of life. Foolishness is marked by inaction, wisdom by effort. Hatred can never be ended by more hatred. Only love has the power to bring peace. This is the eternal law. Whatever we continuously ponder and pursue becomes the direction of our awareness. Do not dwell on the past or dream of the future. Focus on the present moment, for the mind is everything. What you think, you become. Look within for strength, for no one else can walk your path. The only way to do great work is by loving what you do. If you haven't found that passion yet, keep searching and never settle. You'll know it when it finds you, for the heart recognizes its true calling. The greatest triumph in life is not avoiding failure, but rising every time we fall. No one else can save us. We alone must walk our path, for the journey to inner peace and happiness begins within. Thank you for watching. The story of Gautam Buddha teaches us a powerful lesson. The key to mastering your emotions is not in suppressing them, but in responding thoughtfully. If this message resonates with you, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below, sharing your experiences or any insights you gained from the video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content that empowers you to live a mindful and peaceful life.